Hey guys, welcome back to another TFT video. Before we jump into this one, I just want to say thank you for clicking on this video. I tried to do something a little bit different for the intro. I guess this also counts as the intro. But I did a little bit of editing, trying to figure out how to do that. I know it's not that amazing, but I just want to show some clips of the final build in action. And I just want to say thank you again to everyone that's been supporting my videos recently. It's been super awesome to see how much you guys are enjoying them. It's super awesome. Uh, keep leaving comments. Keep telling me what you want to see in the future, and I'll make sure to make that happen. Uh, Once again, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and let's hop into the video. Why, thank you, Past Me, for that amazing intro, and also thank you, Past Me, for doing a little bit of editing. It took me longer than it probably should have, but I'm happy with what it was. Anyways, let's just hop into the video here. Today we're going to be building Super Crit Varus. Now this build, I think, keep it on the low, I think it's super powerful right now. Varus with crit items is just insane. And maybe you've seen already from the intro, his ult does so much damage, it is insane. So right off the bat, we are going to pick up a bunch of Infernos, and we're going to be going Infernos this game. I think you don't even need to go Infernos with this Varus build. You can go basically anything as long as you have Varus. I think you want at least one of the Ranger just so that he can get his ult off in time. But other than that, you don't need to go Infernos. You don't need to go anything else. You just want some type of frontline, and that is it. That is all you need. And Varus will just do tons and tons of damage. So right at the bat, we're just going to pick up every single unit we can. We end up going Infernos this game just because that's what we roll. So early rounds, we are going to be winning, I believe. Get on a little bit of a win streak, perhaps. And that always helps with whatever build you're going to win streak it up. Pick up another Varus, and we are close to a Tier 2 Varus and Tier 2 Diana, which would be very nice, because we already have a Tier 2 Vlad and Zara. Early rounds, we're just looking to try and win, but unfortunately we can't win every single round, so I guess we didn't really get off to any win streak, but we were trying to. It was a close round. But from the carousel, we're going to want to be picking up another Thief's Gloves just for more crit chance. You need to get an IE and a Jeweled Gauntlet onto the Varus for him to do tons of damage. You don't need 2 Infinity Edges, but that will boost his damage by a considerable amount more. His ult does about 3,000 damage when he has 2 Infinity Edges on him. So there we pick up the Infinity Edge, and we have another glove as well. So his auto attack is doing tons and tons of damage here. We are super powerful, especially now that he's level 2. It's going to be very strong. You get the Tier 2 Warwick as well in there, which we're definitely not going to have in our final build, but he's a pretty solid unit early, I would say, because he can do a lot of damage with his ult, at Tier 2 especially. Tier 1 not as effective, but now we're just going to save up, econ up against some druids, some woodland druids. Ugh, I hate them. Too strong early in, but oh yeah, we barely lose that one. Yeah. Unfortunate. But we're staying relatively healthy. We pick up a Tier 2 Diana, pick up the Kindred. So now we do have the Inferno buff, and we have 5 different 2-star units, which is very good. Very nice to get that. We pick up another glove, which is very good. And we can make a Iceborne Gauntlet here, which is a very strong unit, or strong item for a unit, such as Kindred, which is what we just picked up. Trying to figure out the positioning. You want to keep Varus in the corner so he can ult as many units as he can. And we're using Vladimir as a frontline. I think Vladimir is actually a very effective frontline because when he's level 2, he will almost always get his ult off, at least in the early to mid game. So putting him in the frontline is actually better than some tanks. Unless you can get Warden buff or like maybe Berserkers or something, but I think Vladimir as a solo unit with no synergies is actually a very strong tank in the early game, specifically. Deanna gets onto the back line. Varus gets some auto attacks, gets an ult off. It's very strong. His autos are very, very strong. They do lots of damage, especially with the Infinity Edge when they crit. So even before you get the Jeweled Gauntlet, it's still not an awful unit early game. And theoretically, you wouldn't even be getting Infinity Edge and Jeweled Gauntlet until the mid game, when he would be most effective with his ult. The more units that are on the board, the more effective Varus is. Light player gets taken out. Nothing much there. Carousel, now we're looking for a rod. And then if we can't get a rod, then we want a sword. If we can't get a sword, or anything that we want, then we just take the jam with the chain vest. Sell that, level up, get into Kindred, which does give us the Ranger's bonus. And now I can go for the Iceborne Gauntlet. It might have been wiser to save that until a little bit later, until maybe after the next creep round, just in case we did get a sword and a rod from them, because then we would want to put that onto our Varus. But it's not a bad item by any means on the Kindred. We pick up some Druids just because we have money, but we're not going to use them unless we happen to roll a ton of them. But there are other people going now, so it's probably not the best choice for us. Varus dealing tons and tons of damage already. We're on a win streak now. Picking up more Zyras. We did pick up an Annie earlier, which we'll want to put in eventually. But for now, we're just going to keep our strong tier 2 units for the front line, because an Annie will get killed before she can ult for this situation. Pick up another Varus. And we do pick up the rod there, which is very key for the Varus, so his ult will be doing tons of damage. We get another tier 2 Zyra, and we're just looking for more Varuses, really. Varus only ults one person there, but it does still do quite a bit of damage, and we do win that round. That was against the other guy that was on the win streak, so feeling pretty powerful. We pick up another Ivern, but again, we're not going to go Ivern. Light player, very strong mid-game build. It can fall off late game, but it definitely dominates mid-game. We do end up losing there. Also has the Kindred in there. It's hard to beat that. Pick up a Malphite. It's a good tank. Better than Vladimir if he does get his ult off. And we do pick up the Brum for the Warden buff. Because that... Wow, that was a quick movement right there. We do put in the York for Summoners. So now we have Summoner Zyra, Summoner York, Summoner Annie, which is pretty powerful, but obviously not powerful enough to defeat Ocean Mages. Now our build is going to be falling off a little bit until we get some upgrades on some of our units, so that's kind of the primary thing we're going to be looking for. We could also try and go for the 6 Inferno as well, but I think upgrading units is the best thing here. We do get another Thief's Glove, which is, or not Thief's Glove, just a glove. It's not Thief's Glove. Which is good because we can make another Infinity Edge on the Varus. Picking up as many Infernos as we can. We get another Varus. Now we have 2 tier 2 Varuses, and we are 1 Zyra away from tier 3 Zyra. And as you can see, we do need to hit these upgrades because we are now losing pretty convincingly to some of these other compositions. Gonna roll down. There's another Malphite. We do sell the Dianas, and we pick up Brand. So we could put in 6 Inferno here, and that is what we do. I felt like it might be stronger than the Summoner buff, but unfortunately, oh, look at that. Woo! Varus with a huge, huge ult, doing so much damage just from that. And there's the early power that you can see, or an early glimpse of the power that you can see from the Varus ult with Jeweled Gauntlet. It is very strong. Creep round now. take that down very easily. And really the only item we need is a sword, which unfortunately I don't believe we get it, and it's really too bad. So now we're going to want to use all of our items and just make our units as strong as we can. Again, we are now losing very heavily, and we've gone from the top of the charts to, well, we were third place for a second there, but then that other guy lost, so moved back up to fourth. So we're going to level up, and we get our summoner buff, and we get another frontline unit, which is very strong. We also move our Zyra forward a little bit for the redemption bonus, and we do end up picking up a ton of upgrades right there. We get the tier 3 Zyra, the tier 2 Brand, and the tier 2 Malphite all right there, which is super, super good. And there you can see that we're not weak anymore. Up against the light player, we do end up winning there. So now we're going to keep rolling down. We want to get as many upgrades as we can. Another Varus, so we're one Varus away. And there is the tier 3 Varus, which is huge. That is what we needed. Now, and we also got the tier 2 Annie, which is also huge. So now all we need is the Kindred upgrade, and we are kind of just cruising. We got basically every upgrade we need. We win that round, knock that guy out, actually, which is nice. Super awesome. Here on the carousel, there's a Seraph's, or there's another Infinity Edge, which is awesome. Double Infinity Edge makes it so much stronger. It makes Varus ult do so much damage. He does do quite a bit of damage with just one, but with the second one, it almost guarantees that his ult will crit, and it makes the crit damage so much stronger. Still looking for the Kindred upgrade. That's fine though. Huge ult. One shot to the Nautilus right there. It only hits one person, but that's still quite a bit of damage even on just one target. Steel Lux. Don't really need that. Now we're just going to save up because we don't want to roll down just for the Kindred. We want to save our money in case we want to level up or roll down one last time. It's really just not that much of an upgrade for you. Here Varus gets a huge ult off right before the Taric ult goes down. He does end up killing 3 units and just doing so much damage right there. Holy cow. It was almost 10,000 damage just from that single ultimate. Super crazy. Here we do pick up the Morelos, which is an awesome item. We can put that on the Zyra, make her do tons and tons of damage. Take that out very easily. Creeps are never really much of a problem in this game, and I honestly think that's kind of a shame. I feel like you should have to think a bit more about how to take down creep rounds. We do get the Kindred upgrade, so now not much else we can do. Pick up a couple Annies, but getting a tier 3 Annie would be very unlikely at this point. Here, this guy kind of outplays us, and honestly, we probably should have lost here just because our Varus, our carry, gets ulted and then killed by the Lux, and luckily, with the Inferno buff, we are able to take out a couple units right before we die, and we do get dropped all the way down to 7 health, but barely stay alive there. So now we're paying a little bit more attention to who we're up against. We've got Rangers, we got Berserkers, we got Ocean, Mages. This guy's got Deserts. He didn't move his Kha'Zix, but I'm just going to move the Brand to the very corner just in case he does move his Kha'Zix, but he doesn't. So we're lucky there. And Varus is able to get off a good ult onto the Kha'Zix and save himself from dying. And we do end up winning that round. Now the thing about the Varus is also, because he has all the crit items, his ability does a lot more damage. And so when the Inferno spreads, the actual tiles deal a lot more damage because his ult does so much damage. There we actually sell the Annies to try and go for the tier 3 Kindred, because I think that that's a more likely upgrade to get, and probably a strong... no, tier 3 is so good, so maybe not a stronger upgrade, but more likely to get. So I do that, but we're not really expecting to get it. We're kind of full build as it is right now. His Lucian is very strong, but we're able to take out the center right before the Lucian takes out our last 2 units, and we managed to sneak by that round. Carousel, not a whole lot to pick up. We do pick up the Warden onto the York, and there's actually a second York there, but we're not going to utilize that. And we do, oh yeah, we do take out the Diana for the Amumu, which I think is a good upgrade. I forgot about that one. Malphite with the huge ulti, and we are able to just burn through that guy. So now it's just a one-on-one. Nothing left to do here except roll down to hope for 2 kindreds somehow in this like 15 gold we had. Fortunately, not even one. What you gonna do? It's alright. Trying to check out our positioning. Gonna move the Varus into the corner. We know he can't reach the back line, so we just want the Varus in the very corner. Keep him alive as much as we can. We keep the Zyra closer to the front line, so that way when she dies, the Redemption can get off onto more units. And we just gotta hope for the best here. Varus auto attacks kill the Aatrox in two autos. It's looking pretty close, but we do pull ahead. The Redemption as well would have just helped us that much more, and we do take out the enemy and take the W. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment what you want to see in the future, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.